What it do, cuckolds? It's your boy, the hater, and it's time for Raw review. Now, I wasn't able to watch Raw last night, and as a result, I watched it today, skipped all the commercials. But when I say that, of course, I mean the actual commercials, because Raw is essentially one long 2-hour and 40-minute commercial, or 2-hour and 20-minute commercial. Think about that. It's 3 hours and 40 minutes of that is already commercials. Then half of the remaining 2 hours and 20 minutes is also commercials. So anyways, let's talk about it like we usually do in this channel, segment by segment. But before we do that, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and comment on this video so the hater can keep on growing. The growth has been great, but we need to keep going, cuckolds. We need to beat these other inferior channels and show them the truth about wrestling. Big things popping, little things stopping. Another thing that I want to point out before we talk about the first segment is that this was the worst Raw of all time. Now, some of you may be thinking, hater, you keep saying that. Well, it's not my fault. Raw keeps getting worse and worse, so I'm going to keep saying it. So now that we got that bullshit out of the way, let's talk about Raw review, starting with segment 1. The show begins. We see that Corey Graves is not there, and instead it's Michael Cole and Wade Barrett, who's about 3 feet bigger than Michael Cole. If these guys were buried in the same grave and they found their skeletons many years later, they would assume the big one kept the little one around to fuck them, because that's the only explanation for the size disparity. Then, as basically part of the same segment, after they welcome us, Michael Cole says it's time for Jey Uso. And Jey Uso comes out as Michael Cole starts dancing like a complete goof. Now at this point, the hater waited for all of this to keep going, and by waited, I mean I skipped around until Jey Uso made his way to the ring. I noticed that about 10 minutes had gone by until Jey Uso started to do his promo, right? To cut his boring-ass Jey Uso promo. He starts out by saying the exact same thing as last week, says 6 words, the crowd says yeet in between each of them, then Gunther comes out. Now, normally this would be a good thing, but the fact of the matter is, what was the point of Jey Uso coming out? All he was going to say was, I'm going to win. And then Gunther comes out and he says, you're not going to win. Gunther says, you're all talk and I'm not all talk. Wow. Gunther's promo was especially gruesome today because it was fucking atrocious. He could not cut a promo to save his life. The fact that Gunther has reached this level in the wrestling business should be an inspiration to every person who has any goal, right? Not since the rapper French Montana have we seen someone with less merit make it in their field. So anyways, he comes out and says what I just told you he said. And then Jey Uso says, I've main evented WrestleMania. Now everyone keeps talking about how they main evented WrestleMania, despite the fact that they really haven't. But anyways, he says this, and at this point, for some odd reason, Gunther decides to attack Jey Uso. Right? Jey Uso whoops his ass, and Gunther runs away, and that's the end of the segment. Absolutely nothing was advanced by this. This was a colossal waste of time. I and everyone else in the world would have preferred if this segment just didn't happen and Raw was 20 minutes shorter. Let's be real. If Raw were 2 hours and this segment didn't happen, we would all be happier. But then, after this boring-ass segment, where Jey Uso is told basically that he has no motivation and that he's all talk, we get New Day. Before they come out, though, they have a mini segment with JBL, who did nothing. He added absolutely nothing to this show. I don't even know why they brought him back. New Day has a segment with JBL. They tried to relate to him, basically saying that they did to him what he did to Farouk, right? JBL says he gets it, and that everyone is more interested in Big E than these two jobbers, which is obviously true. Then they give JBL some money, they put it in his pocket. JBL comes out to do commentary, and the only good part of the show was basically when JBL said, ha ha, I'm back, Maggle. That's what happened, right? Then Rey Mysterio comes out between this, JBL coming out and the New Day segment, right? He comes out, but it doesn't matter. He has to wait in the ring for 15 minutes because we then get a Bayley backstage segment, right? And basically she's on Raw now, so chances are she did not attack Jade Cargill, and it was probably Naomi because now she's been removed. She declares for the Rumble. Nia Jax comes out and they talk shit to each other. Then they show 2 bull riders and a bull riding announcer on the crowd, which represents a new low for celebrities. Nobody reacted to any of these 3 dorks. Nobody knows who the fuck they are. I think bull riders are actually cool, but these guys there is just why are you even there? Anyways, then JBL comes out and does the Maggle, right? as they play his music. Then they quickly switch to Rey Mysterio's music because they forgot that he's in the ring. And then New Day comes out with their old music and they say, turn it off. And basically they cut a promo about how they're dissatisfied, right? The match starts. It's going to be Rey versus Kofi Kingston. We were promised that it was going to be the New Day back in action, but it's just Kofi Kingston. Rey Mysterio, Kofi Kingston have a Rey Mysterio and Kofi Kingston match. Rey Mysterio is just incredible. The things that he's able to do, even at his age, it's just insane. Like, and he also does them better. Like, you know that little springboard crossbody thing that he does, where he just jumps on the rope and just bounces back? Now it's like effortless. It's just like boom, boom. He's like a ping pong ball. It was amazing, right? The match is decent. I didn't like the fact that Rey Mysterio hits the 619, goes for the little splash thing, and then Kofi Kingston just raises his, like, knees, right? He no-sells it. Just have him win with a 619, you know? Anyways, the match doesn't end like that. It keeps going for a long time. Kofi Kingston goes for the SOS. Mysterio just counters it into a pin and pins him. There goes the entire concept of New Day turning heel. They're still jobbers. Nothing has changed. This is a complete waste of all of our time. Then Xavier comes out and he attacks Rey Mysterio. It should be noted that Xavier was ejected from ringside because he grabbed Rey Mysterio's feet when he first went for the 619. At this point, Rey Mysterio should have won the match by disqualification because the referee saw it and used this as a justification to get rid of Xavier Woods. But for some reason, the ref didn't ring the bell or didn't call for the bell to be rang. Nobody knows why. Nobody could possibly care, but it just shows how low effort wrestling is nowadays. Then Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro come to save Mysterio, and they do. But, as New Day retreat, they come back and they attack one of them just to show how dastardly they are, you know? Nothing really interesting here. A complete waste of time. The only benefit of this match is just you get to see Rey Mysterio. So if you're in attendance, you get to see the 619, and you get to see Rey Mysterio wrestle, and he's a fucking legend. So, it's as simple as that. Everything else that happened during the segment is a colossal and aggressive waste of time that nobody could possibly care about, right? You have Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde, they're a tag team. You have the New Day, they're a tag team. Why not have the New Day beat them up, right? And furthermore, why aren't Cruz del Toro and fucking the other one, going for the tag team titles? Why isn't New Day going for the tag team titles? Nowadays, there's only 2 tag teams that are allowed to go for the titles at a time, and they feud with each other. One of them wins and gets the title shot and loses to the champions. Why not make the tag team division exciting again? Why not give Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde a chance? The same way you're giving a chance to Los Garza. You know what I mean? They're the same fucking thing anyways. Just 2 Hispanic wrestlers. Well, one of them is from the Philippines, Zima Ion, fucking Joaquin Wilde, right? So he's not even a Latino. But nevertheless, the point is there's these 2 high flyer types that have no personalities. So you might as well just have them wrestle each other or something. I don't know. Anyways, point being that this segment was completely atrocious. JBL leaves. They thank him. A complete waste of time. Nothing interesting happened here. Then after, we get a Chad Gable interview. It appears that now he's entering a feud with Penta. He says he's going to get Dominic to help. Ivy Nile says she's going to be the women's Intercontinental title holder. And the Creed brothers say that, they deserve the World Tag Team titles. This was decent, considering what was said. The Creed brothers are right? They point out the complete logical fallacy of the War Raiders, who are supposed to be these indestructible monsters, being, 1 injury away from retirement. And then they're like, why are they proud of this? Obviously the answer is they're proud of it because despite being 1 injury away from retirement, they were able to win their matches and become tag team champions in, what is now probably the worst tag team title run of all time. Anyways, that happened, so that's what we have to look forward to. Dominic is going to get involved with Penta, and the greater storyline is that Chad Gable is part of this feud now. After this, we get... That's right, we get Sami Zayn. That's right, I almost lost track. Sami Zayn comes out to talk, and it's incredibly boring. The crowd isn't really behind him. They cheer when he signals to them to cheer, but otherwise they don't care. He cuts another boring dream promo. It's my dream to do this. It's like this guy, all he does is he has dreams, and then he achieves them, right? But for some reason, it's not inspiring. Oh, I want to beat Gunther for the Intercontinental title. Now he wants to be the world champion. Complete waste of time. He gets interrupted, right? Everyone that cannot cut a promo in this company just consistently gets interrupted, and Sami Zayn is no different. Kevin Owens comes out, and he cuts the same promo on Sami Zayn that he cut on Rey Mysterio. A complete waste of time. He basically wants Sami to choose him and help him win, and he's going to help Sami win, whatever, right? It doesn't matter. I think it just looks like they're going to wrestle each other at WrestleMania in a meaningless, like, second match on night one or third match on night one type situation. Nobody could possibly give a flying fuck about this. Sami Zayn looks distraught. Sami Zayn is a fucking loser. I hate Sami Zayn. After this, Sheamus cuts a promo against Braun. Nobody could possibly give a shit. Sheamus has been going after the Intercontinental title for like 3 years now and hasn't won it, and he just wants to win it. Braun Breaker, his entire thing is he shows up and he says, I'm better than you. That's it. Braun Breaker, his push has been mishandled to like levels that are unforgivable. Nevertheless, afterwards, we get Nia and Bayley in what was easily the match of the night. It wasn't a good match, but it wasn't a terrible match either. Nia Jax has pretty much been carrying this company in terms of the women's division and largely with the men's division as well. Nia Jax is just like superstar of the year probably if we had to like do it over again. Anyways, after she wins, Rhea Ripley's music hits because it always hits, and she comes out to beat Nia's ass. But then it's kind of even, and they make a match for Saturday Night Main Event. This was actually not atrocious. Like I said, Nia's carrying this division, and this is a short-term feud with short-term booking that's leading to a short-term payoff, right? Nothing wrong with this at all. Nia's probably going to lose, but who cares, right? Like, you can't be mad at this, right? This was like a regular wrestling promo. Then they do a Martin Luther King promo. Martin Luther King rules. I'm a big fan of Martin Luther King. I consider him to be the second greatest American after James Madison, but Martin Luther King, he is a beacon